So what we're going to do next is apply our foundation, and I'm going to use a flat top kabuki brush instead of a flat foundation brush. Why? I'm just going to show you why I prefer use this brush than, because this is the average foundation brush. So when you'll see this, you'll be like, this is used to apply foundation. When you're using a flat top brush, no matter how many times you wear your foundation, you'd always start in one direction and then end up going in the other direction, and then your face will be looking crazy. Because I'm sure a lot of us did art, and when you're painting in one direction, you have to continue going in that direction instead of switching direction. So I prefer use this brush because you just have to go in a circular motion and you get a nice flawless airbrush neat finish. Another thing that I don't do that the average person would do when applying foundation is I don't dip the entire brush and then splat it on my face, because you might put a little bit too much. So I like to take a normal flat brush, it don't have to be this exact one, and I'll just put the foundation where I want it to be. So I know I need coverage here, like all over your face basically. Give more room for about choice of shade. This is like a touchy subject. Some people can't tell them what not to wear. Okay, so a tip that I'll give when choosing foundations, when you're consulting with somebody, please do research on what your undertone is, because if you're a reddish kind of undertone like I am and you go for a yellow undertone foundation, you're going to look crazy because they are undertones. So I think you should just do research as into foundations before going to purchase something, so you know right from wrong. Okay? And another thing is choose knowing the type of skin you have. So if you have oily skin or if you have dry skin. So I have really greasy skin, so I would go towards MAC Studio Fix, because that's, I'm just using as an example because that's people with really oily skin. It's a matte formula, whereas MAC Mineralized, it's for people with very dry skin. So mineralize it, moisturizes your skin and everything like that. So I'm just going to continue with my foundation application. So I'm going to go in with my brush now, and I'm just going to go in a circular motion. Under my eyes, obviously I can't go circular there, so I'll just cheat on, but everywhere else, circular. So you want to make sure and go two places a lot of people miss out are your neck and your ears. No matter how close your foundation is to your face, you must always take it to those places, because after a while in the day when your foundation oxidizes, it might change color, so it might look so flawless when you leave home, and during the day you realize like my face and my neck don't make no sense. So always make sure to go down, and I say when your chest and your whole body, but just like your neck for sure and your ears. And well, I wear bangs, so I don't necessarily have to go back to my hairline. So if you have like a normal hairstyle, a hair good in one, do your hair after you do your makeup. So you want to always go back. Am I talking about that area, boy? Make sure and go back that way for sure, for sure, for sure. So before I highlight and conceal, I always like to powder my face. This isn't necessary, this isn't, I just like to do this way. So I like to take my powder and just set my foundation before I conceal under my eyes. Your neck and your ears. Right. So what we're going to do next is like trending. Everyone wants to contour and everyone wants to have that highlight. And again, I choose my under eye highlighter according to how I'm feeling. So sometimes I would feel for a concealer under my eyes like one shade lighter. That's like basic, but anywhere I'm going now, anywhere that I go now, I always want my makeup to speak for me. Because a lot of people be like, where did they make up? Who did they make up? So I wouldn't always go for the more subtle unless I'm feeling sick. So I'm going to take, not this. I'm going to take a concealer that is very, like 2 or 3 shades lighter than my skin. And I'm just going under my eye. And the next thing that I always do with this concealer when I have a wing liner is just neaten the wing. So if you made any mistake before with your wing, this is a chance to just clean up and get that perfect wing. Please don't go highlighting all here. The only area that you need to highlight is right here. But again, different shapes of face, different face shapes will have different highlighting techniques. So everything is very. So if you're somebody that's going to pursue makeup, I do suggest that you practice on different faces or do research. There are lots of pictures that showing you different shapes of face and where you need to contour. So somebody else with a longer face wouldn't do this that I'm doing, but this is the basic way. If you're going into it, please do your research. Do the time lapse. I'm going to use this wonderful brush, and I'm just going to pat this into my skin. I'm not dragging it because I'm going to move the product, so rather I'm just blending it but in a pattern motion. I'm making sure the edges are well blended into my skin, so I'm taking my time. Take my foundation brush and I'm just going to pat around the edges to get this to blend into my skin really much better. After this is done blending, I'm going to take my satin powder and set under my eyes. And I'm just going to press this in. And I'm doing this so that my concealer doesn't move throughout the day and that it sits very well. And they call it baking. I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side.